He's had how many fights with you, Eddie? And every one of them, Poland, England. You know, it's like Akavov, you know, Sulecki. We have to go to other countries to get them to come fight him because nobody in the United States has the guts to step in the ring with Demetrius Andrade, and that is a fact.
Do you think a lot of that comes in from, obviously, his ability as a pro, but also a lot of these fighters grew up with him on the amateur circuit, and they all talk about how good he was back then, how good he is now, and
Absolutely.
almost made that decision before the guy even turned pro, that they would never want to fight.
Yeah, when he, I mean, you got to realize this kid has been getting up every day, going to the gym for 27 years. 27 years. He's been going to the gym before school, before anything else. The gym and his training came first, but for 27 years he's been throwing punches. In the amateurs, they had no choice. They had to fight him. If you want to become the amateur world champion, you had to go through Demetrius Andrade. And at one point, it was like this, you know, the skies would part, the seas would part when he walked into a room in the amateurs because everyone was afraid of him. Everyone that fought him lost to him at least once. And I'm talking about Porter, Thurman, Trout, all these guys that were considered top fighters, every one of them that got in the ring with him lost. At one point or another, they got beat by Demetrius Andrade. And now, in the pros, everybody's been able to avoid him all of this time. You throw out $30 million for somebody to fight him. Canelo Alvarez still won't get in the ring with him. Moved 2 weight classes not to have to fight him. I mean, what does that tell you when the #1 pound-for-pound person in the world moves 2 different weight classes when he had a chance to unify at 154 and at 160? Canelo Alvarez had all the belts. Demetrius Andrade had the 1 remaining belt, and Canelo Alvarez chose to move up to another weight class. And he's doing it again. Yet somebody like Quigley comes in and takes the fight. So how can I say anything derogatory about a man that comes in and is willing to fight the best fighter in the world and take his chance on a big stage?
Thank you, Ed. Demetrius, a lot of talk about this guy won't fight you, this guy won't fight you. This guy will, and this is a real fight on Friday. I know you've taken this camp very, very seriously. I know you've worked very hard in this camp as well. Putting everything aside, putting the who won't fight you, what fights you want aside, this is a massive fight for your career on Friday, and those other talks are irrelevant if you don't take care of business this weekend.
Yeah, of course. We back at the, you know, pretty much on the same page. Jason Quigley, you know, it's after he fought Sugar Shane Jr., he announced that he wanted to fight Demetrius, and that's the luxury that a lot of fighters have right now. If you call on Demetrius Andrade, your possibility of getting a fight will occur. So here we go. So I give Jason Quigley, you know, the most respect for, you know, stepping up to the plate and taking on this challenge. And at the end of the day, may the best man win. Unfortunately, it's me, but unfortunate on Quigley's part. But listen, at the end of the day, we're gonna go in there and put on a show. We're going to perform at our best, and we're going to let people know, like, the middleweight division is one of the best divisions out there.
I know when I spoke to Ed and you started like training against Liam Williams, slowed down a little bit in the back end of the fight. People talking about you doing a lot of weights in camp for that fight as well. Has it been important this camp to be on top of that weight and make sure you're ready to put that kind of energy over 12 rounds if you have to on Saturday? We all work Friday, sorry. We always see you start extremely